Hey everyone, Paulie here from HardDrive Radio. Delighted to be sitting in the studio today with brothers Ryan and Adrian Patrick of the band Otherwise.
What up?
Good to have you guys here. Thank you very much for coming to see us today.
Dude, good to see you, Paulie.
It's so good to have you guys back in New York. It's been way too long.
Been a hot
this is
second.
awesome.
We were trying to figure out how long it's been.
I think about it, it was like probably the last show you guys played with Red, and it was at the Highline Ballroom.
Yeah, I heard that place closed down, man.
I heard too, and yet they still have some shows listed. So I don't know if they're like just not doing rock shows there anymore or whatever.
It's a cool venue, dude.
Their loss.
Yeah.
It was a cool place. I liked it.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the more important stuff, though, is that you guys have a brand new album out. It's called Defy. It is out now, and it's freaking amazing, if I may say so myself. I'm loving the hell out of it, like I've loved all of your albums. So let's kind of get started at the beginning. Tell me when you guys started the writing process for this one.
Man, we as soon as we came basically off of the last album cycle, which the last album cycle was, it was critically well received, but commercially kind of disappointing. So we went right into it, and it was a transitional kind of phase for us. We were switching labels, and we kind of, at least for me personally, I just kind of stopped giving a fuck. Can I say that on the show?
You can say that. Yeah,
okay. I just stopped really caring like what everybody else's input was about how we should sound, how we should look, how we should act, and what we should say, and that really the title of the album, Defy, is totally self-explanatory. Our business manager was like, if there's one word that defines you and your brother, it's Defy. And we were like, all right, that's the album title.
That works out really well. It's funny did you say that, because listening to the album, it's in the back of my head. I'm like, this just sounds like an Otherwise album. It sounds like you guys, and you have a very distinct sound. You hear an Otherwise song when you hear it.
That's
so
awesome.
I think, it's I was hoping that was what you guys were going for, like kind of that definitive what you are sound.
That's very reassuring to hear that coming from you, because we definitely incorporated a lot of new elements and aesthetics, and electronic digitization, layers and textures. Like I said, that some people are going to be like, well, what is this? But the fact that you've known us from the history of the band, the sound, and that it still sounds like us to you. But we're with this new presentation, that's exactly what we're going for.
That's important to us, because we really did want to press the boundaries of what we want to defy what people think of us, what they think we are, and but also like bands like our favorite bands, Linkin Park and Incubus, they were doing this in the early 2000s. So it's nice we finally had the freedom to do it as well, and it's great that it's well received.
Yeah.
So taking these kind of different choices, going experimenting with the sound a little bit, is this something you guys have been trying to do for a long time? You just haven't had the opportunity to do it?
Yeah, we've been trying. I mean, we just ran into an old buddy of ours in Cincinnati, and he was like, dude, the new record is amazing, man, and it sounds like all those old demos that you used to play me that you guys are trying to use before you signed your first deal, and all the advisors and all the quote unquote experts, they tell you, they say, no, that doesn't work. That's not going to work. But we've been trying to do this for a long time, man. We've been trying to, like my brother said, push the genre a little bit and but still maintain that integrity of hard alternative rock with a little bit of metal influence, Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things that attracted me to your band in the first place, was like you guys weren't afraid to get heavy. But you also have, you have a really diverse sound. Like, you're not just a heavy band. And, Adrian, you have an amazing voice.
Thanks,
man. And, you can scream and knock the fucking walls down, man. But at the same time, you can sing, and you have a great range, and you have a great register. So the fact that you can use your instruments so, diversely is something that I've always loved about this band.
That's huge, because, one of the things that we've always tried to, like, hold ourselves to is capturing the entire human experience in our music. And you're not always angry, you're not always wanting to kick doors down, you're not always wanting to curl up in a fetal position and cry, you're not always happy, so why not try to that the entire spectrum of emotions. We don't want to put out the same song and the same sounding album every single time, because like my brother said, our favorite artists, they pioneered their sound. They constantly evolved as creatives, and you can't stagnate.
Give me an example of maybe a really out there idea that didn't quite make it onto this album because it was just maybe a little too Crazy.
There's a couple lyrics that there's in my recollection, there's one demo where one of the lyric lines was a little bit more risque, I suppose. But it was, I don't know if I should say it because you never know. It might make the next record. I still won't.
Let's preserve the mystery a little bit.
Okay, but there was a lyric line where it was kind of like, everyone was like, gee, dude, are you really going to say that, you know? And that one.
Which one was it?
That was Welcome to the Party. See you at the party.
Yeah.
The line about the embryo.
Oh, yeah. It's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
right, I definitely want to hear this in a future song.
We'll kick you
the demo.
Yeah, man, I
we'll
want to
kick
hear
you
it.
the demo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So no one's like busting out like a theremin or something like, hey, maybe we should do something with this.
Maybe someday.
No, we definitely, working with Matt Good, he was able to pull up like so many wild sounds that, you know, the cool thing about this record too is like we had ideas, but we didn't necessarily know how to get them across, like be wizards on the keyboard and with all the sounds. And Matt Good was just like such a great addition and member to the process that he's like, oh, you guys that's what you want to hear? All right, hold on, give me a second. And he gets in there and we're like, whoa, he kicks back. And like, dude, that's amazing. Like, yeah, let's roll with that.
He was totally like occupying our headspace and wheelhouse. You know, there was moments where I'd be like, dude, Matt, what are you in my head, bro? Like,
yeah, it's funny. Our manager Jay Tavernese, you know, when we were talking about like the demos going into the process, he's like, I think your guys' best songs haven't even been written yet. And I was like so offended. Like, what do you mean, man? Like,
you don't like these?
He's like, no, they're good. But he was right though, because working with Matt Good, we wrote like in the studio some of my favorite tracks on the record, and they just came like right there and then day of. It was a really great experience.
Isn't that amazing how that works out? You know, you work for months on a song, and then, you know, you just get that lightning strike, and something new comes, and it's better.
Yeah.
And that happens several times. Like my brother said, it was a real awesome experience working with him. It was so easy. He's probably the most like prolific and productive producer. You know, he would crank things out and ideas out in like, I mean, no time, you know. So it was extremely, the process was very streamlined, and you know, I hope we get to go back and do it again with him.
Tell me how you connected with Matt. How'd you first meet him?
Actually, our lawyer Eric German, he set it up. He actually represents Matt as well, and Jay and Eric. Just kind of like moved mountains and just slid us right in. Like there was an opening in his schedule, and we were in the writing process, and we were like, let's go, let's just do this. And we kind of went like, all right, we're doing it. Like we're doing it, you know. And we didn't know. We'd heard like the Asking Alexandria record, and we're like, man, there's some really great stuff on this record. So yeah, it was kind of unknown stepping in with him, but then we just caught we caught a system and a process of
the flow, man.
Yeah, flow state with that guy.
Yeah.
Where's his studio located?
Phoenix. So it's, you know,
close
just
to home.
Yeah, right down the desert road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you guys probably felt pretty comfortable, you know, getting everything done in there. You know, the recording process itself, how long did it take? You know.
It was about a month, right?
About 5 weeks.
Yeah, just over a month. We had a great time. Thanks to our amazing fan base, we found this awesome rental home, and so we had like our little like. It was a beautiful.
Yeah, we had a great house.
There was like a horse paddock right behind the backyard. Like my kids and wife came and stayed for a little bit. Our mom came and stayed with us and
made us some good Indian food, so we felt right at home.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a good time.
Good, man. I want to get into a couple of songs on the album, and the first, of course, we have to talk about the single, which is Lifted. Tell me a little bit about how that one started out. You know, did it start with lyrics? Did it start with a riff?
It started out with being born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada.
We're going back here now.
That song, lyrically speaking, you know, it's about all the same shit that got us kicked off of tours and banned from festivals and, you know, thrown in drunk tanks and stuff like that. And ironically enough, our new label was like, that's the first single. We love it, you know? And it actually started, the song started, I started playing arpeggiating a little chord progression on my brother's guitar ukulele. And then that became the verse, and we transposed that to the guitar. And then, you know, we just, like I said, it was like, man, you know, let's stop giving a fuck about. You know, if there's an elephant in the room, you better embrace it before if you're gonna try and get it out of the room. You know what I mean? So like face it head on, and that's kind of what those lyrics are addressing. You know?
Yeah.
Tell me where you shot the video for that one, because that looked like it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was at a $3 million home.
Yeah, $3 million home in Green Valley area of Las Vegas.
Yeah, I don't know if we're supposed to say who came and to look at the house, because one of our buddies, it was his house, but he was selling it. So like before the music video started, like at noon, there was someone coming to visit the house to like look at it and buy it. And I don't know, the vibes with like the music, everybody setting up, like they're like, we're purchasing this house.
It was the daughter of a very, very famous legendary musician, and it was just perfect. She came and showed up while we're shooting a rock and roll video.
We're like, because we're looking at him like, man, you have an X-Men shirt on and just like torn jeans, and you look like money. Like, who is that? And then, you know, I won't say it, but like as a guitar player and like king of blues, wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy. So it was really cool. It was really cool to like, the experience was already like, we're shooting at this $1 million home. This lady just walks in, royalty.
$3 million.
Yeah, yeah. And so it was really fun, dude. We lived it up pretty good that night.
Do you guys enjoy the process of making videos? Some artists do, some artists don't.
It depends, man.
Yeah, it really
Dude,
depends.
It's like that video was a blast.
Yeah,
you
we've
know?
wasted in the past. We've wasted like so much money on like,
shitty videos,
on music videos, and it's like guys are like super cool, and then like they're like, no, this is stupid.
Yeah,
like what are we doing?
Yeah,
we've been through it.
But that one in particular was awesome. We've done a couple of videos with our good buddy Robert John Cly back in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
He's a pleasure to work with, and hopefully we'll do some more with him.
This was fun though.
Yeah, the team that did this
Rob
video.
and August.
Yeah, Rob and August. They're based out of LA, and they had a whole crew. We had extras. You know, it was, and I mean, you know, we weren't acting in that video. That was, we were lifted.
Yeah, it was fun.
Wink, wink. One of the other songs I wanted to get into on the album, and one that you played for us today acoustically, it came out beautifully, as a song "Picking at Bones."
Ooh, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what went into making that one.
That was actually one of the songs that happened like day of. We were just kind of chatting it up. Gonna go working on another song, and my brother mentioned a line about, you know, wanting to like, I'll do it my way. And Matt Good just kind of like paused everything. Was like, he literally like turned his back for a minute and grabbed the guitar, and we were like kind of like, what is he doing? And then he like turns around. He's like, okay, check this out. And he just like played he just strummed the chord. And we're like, okay, if you're feeling it, we were just like telling you how we're feeling right now, not even trying to write anything.
Yeah.
And like that day,
it came out of a conversation.
The whole song just like came together. And we were going through like a lot of transitions personally in Las Vegas at the time, with family and with life and, you know, everything. And so it was really, really a good track to get out of us now. And that it's like being embraced, and
one of those magical moments, you know.
Yeah.
It came out so quick. We cranked it out in a day.
It hurts so good to play that one.
Yeah, and I went into the vocal booth and I just jotted all these lines down, basically like a poem, and I came back with it, and he was like, dude, that's great, let's go. You know, and it just.
So, and we've tasted, that's like famine or feast, we're picking at bones. So, you know, we've had really high highs and really low lows. So either way, you know.
Yeah. The struggle is real.
One of my favorite tunes on the album is a track called Money. It's a banger, man.
Man.
Just tell me a little bit about that one.
Dude, that's another one that was day of. We're sitting there, and you know, we were like, well, what can we do that we haven't really done? What's something that, you know? My brother had this line in his journal about money never. What was the line that you had written? Like that. It started with him saying, "If money never sleeps, then why am I so tired?" Yeah. And that was just something he'd written down, and we just took that and ran with it. And then I mean, the song. I don't know if you noticed on the record, Paulie, but a lot of the lyrics are kind of satirical, you know, and so that song is a perfect example of like, you know, kind of social commentary and the things that we place value in, you know, like this arbitrary paper that really is worthless, but it's so important, you know, and that's what we tried to capture. And that song is so much fun to play live, and it's just got this real, just kind of snarky attitude. And I love the Gordon Gekko line for,
Yeah,
you know, I'm sure a lot of millennials don't know who that is, but
we wanted a quote from Wall Street, like to open up the song itself. But you know, red tape, and you know, you got to get these things approved. We're like, all right, we'll just slam it, like send the
just
song.
slam it in.
Yeah.
You know, talking about social commentary, another song I really want to talk about and kind of, you know, pokes fun at the horror show that is social media is Fame and Misfortune.
Yeah.
I freaking love that song.
Yeah.
And it's just like, again, you know, you guys have this kind of, you know, this sense of humor in the way you write songs that's like, you know, satirical is a good way to put it. Like, you know, you're talking about a real issue, but you're you know, taking the piss out of it, I guess, as the British would say.
Yeah, exactly. That's what our cousin says. He
yeah,
said,
man, tell us about writing that one.
We wanted to, you know, in the past we found that maybe we'd taken ourselves a little too seriously, or maybe we were told to take ourselves too seriously in the music, and, you know, dark and depressing and, you know, angsty.
Also just like too poetic at times.
And maybe a little too poetic. So we wanted to just get straight to the point in a lot of these songs. And like you said, that was our intent, was to deal with heavy subject matter, but do it in a tongue-in-cheek kind of humorous way, you know. So that way, people and us are still having fun while we're listening and processing these concepts that are not necessarily that much fun.
Yeah, you banged that out with Sahaj too.
Yeah, and we did. Fame and Misfortune we wrote with Sahaj Tickerton, and that was another one of those moments where my brother had this piece of music, and Sahaj just happened to have an open day, and I just hit him up. I was like, dude, I'm not doing anything. I'm in LA. What are you doing? He's like, come over.
Yeah.
And I took him the music, and then him and I worked on the lyrics and the melodies, and that song is kind of a surprise, I think. You know, I don't know if it's a deep cut for me or not yet, but we've heard that from a good majority of the people who've listened to the new record, that they love that song. Yeah. So
it's one of my favorites on there. Let's talk about the artwork for Defy, because, you know, it looks really cool and it's a new logo and everything. Yeah. Who's the artist? Who did you work with for that?
Actually, is our boy on the inside, our main man, John Boyko. He's like our business manager, our associate, our confidant,
our Yoda.
Yeah, and he's always, I mean, he's running a very successful business out in Las Vegas right now, but I could almost guarantee that he's also thinking about the band and like, what's next? What can we do? He's really like, he's the biggest blessing that my brother and I have had in years. Yeah. So he you know, suggested like, hey guys, this is the time to rebrand. You know, and like in essence, like our old emblem, which looks great on you, the Phoenix rising.
It's still in there. If you notice, Paulie, on the album cover, the original Phoenix is still it's subliminal. It's in there.
So we're like, okay, cool. The O and the W to create this new kind of like superhero rock and roll emblem.
Yeah,
but it's bold, you know. So
it looks really badass. I like it a lot.
Right. People are already getting it tattooed on them, man. Which is crazy.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah. So. You know, if something's easily tattooable, that must be a good brand, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, all right.
How do you guys feel about that? Like, people getting like the band tattooed on their skin is like, is it cool to you? Is it creepy a little bit?
It's what's the word? It's like it's overwhelming, you know, because it's like, man, we're gonna be a part of this person's life till the day they die now, you know. And it kind of also comes along. It plays into when, you know, we hear people say, you know, your music saved my life. And I still don't fully know how to process that when somebody says that, you know. And so when I see our lyrics, you know, my signature, like our logo, you know, like emblazoned on somebody's flesh, it's
logo's cool, but I haven't had to do that. He's had the signature tattooed on people. That would weird me out. Like, I don't know. Band logo's cool, but yeah. You're cool with this, your signature on people's skin. I'm like,
we just want to make the fans happy. If it makes them happy, you know, do it.
Yeah.
Tell me about putting this record out with a new label, because I know the guys at Mascot very well. They're good friends, and it seems like they're a really good fit for you guys. When I heard that they were working with you, I got very happy about it.
Yeah.
How is it moving to a new label? Is it exciting for you guys? Is it just a part of the business? How does it work for you?
Getting our first record deal was like hitting the lottery for us, and to get another one, was, and it came at a perfect time. Like we were saying, this transitional phase for us, and they've been very supportive of kind of the new direction, like I would, we're like we said, we're still otherwise, but we've got a new kind of spin on things, and they embraced it, and they've been, the single's doing really well at radio right now, and it's just, things feel really good. And it's funny, Paulie, because you are not the first person in the industry to say, man, I was really happy to hear that you guys are on Mascot now, and it's pretty cool. They signed us and POD, which those guys are our idols, and Joe Bonamassa's our label mate, and George Benson. Come on, man, they signed George Benson at the same time they signed us.
They did, bands like 10 Years and Shaman's Harvest, like those are our buddies and our tour mates, and so it's like it's really cool to be a part of like a roster where they're hands on and the bands are happy with the label and we're happy with the label too, and it's a good feeling,
Yeah.
Speaking about touring and stuff like that, you guys are on the road right now. It's what brings you here to New York. I'm very excited to see you guys play. But tell me, how's the run been going for you guys? Do you have a favorite stop on it so far?
Honestly, New York City. Like, I love coming to play New York City. New York City just like blows my mind every time. Like we walk through the streets, it's like the Matrix. The buildings go on forever, and the people.
We totally
really
look
cool.
like tourists when we're here.
I know. I'm like, man, I gotta kind of fit in. Like, stop smiling so big and
stop saying hi to people.
Yeah,
pretty much. Don't say hi to people. Don't look at people. Don't smile. You just walk in a straight line and just look straight ahead. That's how you walk through New York.
Yeah.
That's the culture, right? Yeah. The tour we call it Defy the Sun tour. Yeah. We're co-headlining with Blacktop Mojo. Those guys, they're a band out of Texas, and they're awesome, dude. They're awesome guys, great band. Their album is out, and so we put the two album titles together to come up with the tour name. And there's the last couple shows, man. Especially this past 2 weeks have been amazing. Syracuse was off the chain. The Machine Shop was killer, which we
always is.
Yeah, but it was crazy, Paulie, is we got to the night we played Machine Shop was the day the album came out. So our album release party was at the Machine Shop.
Awesome.
Yeah. And really cool. It's been great, dude. It's been a good run.
I was talking to Nick before, and he was telling me, kicking the tour off in Colorado, and how you guys kind of drove into a couple blizzards on the way. It's probably, the least fun part of touring is dealing with all that cold weather.
Yeah. Mother Nature smacked us straight in the face. Like, I wasn't ready for that.
No, and we're on the 70, I think, going somewhere, and our tour manager Josh Patron he's a very stoic dude. He's a consummate professional. Never gets rattled, but when you wake up to him driving, go, oh shit. Like we hit like some black ice, and the whole rig started sliding on the freeway, dude. And
it's a trip.
Yeah, we literally haven't seen the sun until yesterday, so we're literally defying the sun on this tour.
Aptly named. Damn.
Yeah.
Besides, dealing with bad weather on a run like this, one of the things we like to ask the bands is, for the times on the road where things really just go wrong, we call them the spinal tappian moments where, people get lost backstage, or, someone gets locked in the dressing room, or somebody gets left on the side of the road when you stop for gas. You guys have any stories about things like that?
Thank God, not yet. On this one, we got locked out of, I got personally locked out of a couple of freezing cold venues where it was, I can't remember. I think it might have been Joplin. Yeah. But it's been a cold run, and there was one venue where I couldn't get in. I was just freezing. I'm like, where are you guys? Texting everybody, open the damn door, But so far, so good, man. And what's great is that as much as we miss home and family and stuff, and the more that the dates keep rolling in, that's a good sign, because there's demand, you know. And it's like we said, this tour package has been awesome. There's 2 other killer bands on it, a band out of Oklahoma called Kira, and another band from Athens, Georgia called Low Water. And all 4 styles of rock are different, and so, but it's rock and roll, it's just good old American rock and roll. So if you come out to this package, this tour, you'll see something that you like,
Tell me what Otherwise has in store for 2020.
Oh man.
I don't know if we're allowed to tell you. we got some executives here that we were just talking about some moves we're trying to make, and
I mean, yeah, you can't tell me anything that's not confirmed yet, but
Right,
maybe,
yeah,
just
right.
plans for taking over the world. As
yeah, I mean, a lot of good things are on the horizon. So we're hoping to get out to the West Coast, finally get back to LA. We got a makeup show that hopefully we can do in San Diego.
Yeah.
Get up to the Pacific Northwest. A lot of stations in some of those markets are getting behind the single. So the future looks bright, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Absolutely. We've had successful album releases and we've had not so successful album releases, and so what it feels like now, what is very, very similar as what's going on right now is to those successful releases we had in the past. And nothing's more exciting and like reaffirming, because being an artist, it's like some days you're just like down here, what about everything, and then some days you're way up here. But this is just like a level, like, okay, we're somewhat veterans in the game now with our 5th release, so it's like, but we're seeing these great little positive flags, like, oh, okay, that's happening right now. Oh,
that
that's
are new
being
for
planned.
us.
It's good. It's really good.
One of the big things that we're really excited about is that we haven't really been exposed to the European market that much, and those press outlets are coming in, and there's we're starting to kind of like do preliminary plans to get over across the pond, and that's huge for us.
That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. I mean, otherwise has been a band that's always kind of like gotten me really like psyched and pumped up. Whatever I'm feeling low, I know I can turn on your songs and feel good about the rest of the day. So
awesome.
I'm glad everyone else is finally getting on board this train, man. It's about damn
jump
time.
on, let's go.
Yeah.
Listen to the man, Professor Spagna.
That's right. So the band is Otherwise. The album is Defy. It is out now. Adrian, Ryan, Patrick, guys, thank you so much for coming in today.
It's our pleasure, brother.